all started from there when I think it was 2 years ago, 3 years ago. They could do 100 push-ups, and I was struggling with 10.
How you doing, brother? So let's get into it.
Solid.
Today we'll be talking about bodybuilding. Every year we all have New Year resolutions. It's the most common thing. And top of that list is always keeping fit for both male, female. But we know how that goes. Within 2 weeks, people give up, people quit. The gym empties out.
Yeah.
Your story is very different. You started, you pushed on, you didn't quit. What made you different?
What do you want me to answer? Do you want me to tell you why I started or why I kept on pushing?
I want you to tell me, what was the difference between you and others that kept you going? Because many people start the same journey and end and stop at the beginning. You didn't. So I want to know, what's the drive, what's the motivation behind that?
As for many things in life, I believe that whenever you want to embark on a journey or you want to set out to attain a certain achievement, the most important thing before skill and talent is your why. Now, the reason why most people fail, it's not because of they don't have a reason why they want to do that thing, or because it's not big enough. So now, when you're talking about your why, it's vague, it's broad. But when you are asking how big is your why, that's a different thing in general. So I feel like the reason why I pushed on to a very large extent was because of how big my why was. In secondary school, because I went to command secondary school, and so I was not exactly the strongest. I couldn't defend myself, and then in settings like that, you need to have some level of strength to stand up for yourself. I mean, I wasn't afraid of anybody, and I was very independent. But I couldn't just stand up for myself.
Couldn't defend yourself.
I couldn't defend myself. I could stand up for myself, but I just couldn't defend myself. And so when I graduated, I figured that I do not want what happened in that period of time to repeat itself anywhere else. In life in general, regardless whether university or outside of university. I just didn't want that to repeat itself. And so I decided to change certain things. And I decided to start changing things from my fitness, how strong I was, how fit my body looked. And so basically that's what just kept me going, those little things.
Okay, very solid. So I've heard from him first. Before you start your goal to become fit, you must have a why. What's going to push you? Because if you don't have a why, you're going to give up within the first 2 weeks, right?
It's possible.
Okay, so now we're going to be talking about your journey. Take us back. Was there one day you just woke up and said, I'm going to start getting fit, I'm going to hit the gym? Or was it a comment from maybe your sisters? Because we know our sisters like to wine us. So was it a family member?
My sisters.
What started the journey?
Okay. I would say majorly it was due because of my brothers. I believe that, you can achieve things in this life on your own. I don't actually have brothers, as in brothers that were born by my mother. But I have brothers that we agreed to be brothers, bound by duty, bound by love, and bound by similar goals. And so it all started from there when I think it was 2 years ago, 3 years ago. They could do 100 push-ups, and I was struggling with 10. And so it really dented my pride. Because every day when we come out to work out, because we weren't in the same place, but we'd get on a video call and then we would want to work out together. And then they would keep on going and I'm already like gassed out and burnt out. And it's just like 5 minutes in. It was annoying. Because obviously they would rub it in my face. They would tell me, bro, you're too weak. Obviously. But I just felt like I could do better. That kind of thing. So I just decided to fix it from there. And then that was one of it, majorly because of the whole secondary school childhood trauma. And then primarily because of 1 or 2 times my mom was just like, why can you not carry this? Why can you not carry that? You don't know you're a man, all those kind of things. And so all of that compiled plus my pride as a person. I believe that all of us have pride, but people just tend to misuse that thing some of the time. I understood that I'm nobody yet, but for me to deserve this level of pride, I might as well become that person. That's why I just did what I was supposed to.
So you have heard from him first. Do not always take criticism personal. use it as fuel to drive yourself. That's what he did, and we can see where he is today. So now,
I mean, I'm not that far in.
Yeah.
We've come a long way.
A lot of times people stop going to gym because of the mental discipline, but another reason is they don't see results immediately. So when you started, were the results instant, or you just had to be patient with it?
I feel like instead of looking at you, let me just look at the camera and actually tell them face to face what this thing is like. When you're starting out, regardless of the goal, you don't want to focus on the results.
Yeah.
You want to focus on the journey.
Yeah.
Let me use myself as an example. When I started working out, I focused more on being consistent. I hated it when I would work out today and tomorrow I fell off. Next tomorrow I fall off again. And so major part of when I began was focus on not falling off tomorrow. Even if you fall off next tomorrow, make sure that the day after that you don't fall off. It's just about building that consistency. What I wanted more was to be the guy who goes to the gym every day and became very consistent with it. And then as a result of that level of consistency, you end up building the muscle mass and getting the results.
Yeah.
You want to focus on the journey, and then the results just come as a counterpart.
Very solid, very solid. Yeah. So right now you're doing a 100-day push-up challenge. It's all over TikTok. Yeah. You are known as that 100 push-ups guy everywhere. Yeah. Higher level, your level, lower level. Why that challenge, and what has it brought?
Okay, so first off, I don't know why, but there's been this misconception that I'm doing the push-ups for 100 days.
Yeah.
It's not 100 days, it's a full year.
Yeah.
And you asked me why exactly did I choose to do this. Now,
yeah,
if I want to combine everything that I have going on currently,
yeah,
with the constantly demanding needs for creativity and content creation,
yeah,
I wouldn't be able to keep up. Yeah. And I understand how important this whole content creation space is.
Yeah.
Because times are changing. There was a period in time where it was the music industry, then the movie industry, then the software development industry.
Yeah.
Now, and for the next couple years, maybe a decade,
yeah,
content creation is the thing that people want, like people have to get into. And I understand that, yeah, I need to get involved.
Yeah.
But I'm not as creative. So I might as well showcase some of the things that I'm actually good at.
Yeah.
And I am very good at being consistent and being disciplined. And I understand that, yeah, motivation gets you started, but discipline keeps you going.
I like that quote. I like that quote. Exactly. Motivation gets you started. Discipline keeps you going.
And so basically, that's why I am doing this, just to get myself like moving in a sense.
Yeah.
And then that's just like the primary reason. Yeah. The main motive is I found this love towards showing my fellow men what exactly is possible. Because I feel like the conception of masculinity in our age and time is almost dead.
Yeah.
Because men no longer know their places, they no longer know their priorities.
Yeah.
And so the whole idea of masculinity has just been turned upside down. And so I just want to remind the men.
Yeah.
That, yeah, this is what your life is supposed to be like.
Yeah.
And there will be times of joy and there will be times of happiness, but majority of your life spent on this earth it's supposed to be suffering and sacrifices for the people you actually care about. Basically. So me doing my videos on a basic level, it's just this guy doing 100 push-ups. But on a more deeper level, I'm showing you how consistent, how disciplined you could be.
Yeah.
How much stronger you could get if you just zoned out and focused on what's actually impossible. You failing, it doesn't just affect you, it affects the people that will eventually become dependent on you.
Yeah.
And so whatever it is that you have to do, you're not doing it for yourself.
Yeah.
But you're doing it for those people who are dependent on you.
So we've heard from him. The 100 push-ups is more than just the 100 push-ups. He's setting the standard for us as men that anything is possible, and we should imply and put that discipline into everything, whether it be finance, academics, sports, whatever you're doing. That standard, that same consistency, that same discipline. On campus right now, you have made a name for yourself just with that push-up challenge. Yeah. We see you walking about. We see how higher levels respect you. Your levels respect you. Do you think those push-ups has changed the way others see you?
I think in general, my physique has changed the way people see me.
Yeah.
Because the reason why I am so obsessed with bodybuilding,
yeah,
reason why I respect the sport so much is because it's unlike majority of the things on this earth. I mean, you could be born into riches.
Yeah.
You could be born and for some reason you are able to think on completely different levels. I mean, yeah, there are people that they worked their ass off to be able to be as smart and intelligent as they are.
Yeah.
But then there's still a very good majority of people that were just born brilliant.
Yeah.
But when it comes to bodybuilding and the likes, when you have a certain level of muscle mass or you have a very defined physique, it immediately speaks
hard
work and discipline. It's not your dad didn't give you muscle. I mean, you might have good genetics, but even good genetics, you still need to beat up your arms and beat up your chest for them to develop. So it speaks that aura.
Yeah.
And so basically, I feel like humans are social on a completely different level other than just conversationally.
Yeah.
And so you could talk to them and then they observe how you move and then they tend to respect you.
Yeah.
But even without you talking to them, the mere observation of how you live, the things you've achieved, it carries a certain aura and they observe that aura. And so generally they're just, the first idea is to respect you, and then maybe when they get closer to you, builds up this familiarity and then builds up from there.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that aura. Yeah. I spoke with someone recently and the person told me that you walk about like you own 2 countries. Is that true? Is that true? Tell us.
I mean, I try my best.
Yeah.
You want to look the part.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't own 2 countries yet, but who knows if I want to own 2 countries in a couple years.
I like that. So, calisthenics. Most bodybuilders they stick with bodybuilding. They stay there for long, just keep on growing muscle, and that muscle they are growing is dysfunctional. They can't really do much with it. But you seem different, you seem rounded. I heard recently that you just started your calisthenics journey. So what's that about? What's your take on mixing weights with body weight training?
So the idea when I started out all of this in the first place was to become as strong as possible.
Yeah.
And then everybody's conversation to the facts, not even just the idea that bodybuilders are not as strong as they look.
Yeah.
What matters to me most is functionality over everything else. So I want to have the muscle mass.
Yeah.
And be strong enough to prove that that muscle mass is not just for the looks.
Yeah.
And still be agile enough to still prove that I'm all rounded.
Yeah.
So I want to be this athlete / bodybuilder combo.
Yeah.
Because why be one when you can be both? That kind of thing. Plus, I feel like I've gotten to a point in bodybuilding and strength training that it doesn't exactly challenge my mind enough. I feel like I'm getting weak. And so venturing into calisthenics just opens this new untapped level of difficulty that I just want to experience. I want to feel what it's like starting from scratch again. Because I have a couple ideas of when I was starting to build my strength from the basics a couple years back. And I know how difficult it was doing push-ups at 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. and you've only gone 100 push-ups in out of 500 and you feel like, oh my God, how am I going to carry on?
Yeah.
It put a lot of strain on my mind. And so I was more mentally stronger at that time compared to I am now. Because I mean, I can do 100 push-ups in less than 3 minutes, 2 minutes even. I'm used to it.
Yeah.
But I'm not used to calisthenics. So I want it to humble me. So that's just another reason. And generally, it looks cool that I want to do handstands.
I get that. Yeah. So now we're going to talk about gym mates. What's that gym mate that you're not having at all, that you would love to kill right now, right here, that is complete crap? You're not having gym myth, like lies people tell themselves just to avoid the grind. What's that gym mate that you would love to kill right now, right here, in front of our audience?
I think a big one is the idea of it's either steroids or genetics.
Yeah.
Some people see a guy on socials and they'll be like, why is he so defined?
Give us a name.
I think what he wants is IG name. Hussein. There's one Hussein guy.
Yeah.
This guy's physique is abnormal. It's out of this world.
Yeah.
And then people struggle to believe that this guy is natural.
Yeah.
And then maybe when they see him now, instead of getting motivated to go to the gym, they get demotivated. He's probably on steroids. I don't want to be doing steroids.
Yeah.
And so they tell themselves that to justify their laziness.
Yeah.
And then if it's not that, they fall back on the idea of genetics. So probably he has better genetics than I do. Because I did a couple push-ups last week and I didn't see any changes. So probably I don't have good genetics, and so I can't build this kind of physique. So why try? That kind of idea. And it's easy to think those things, but the way I think about it is, genetics play a very important role. Yeah. And maybe they could be on steroids.
Yeah.
But I will achieve whatever it is that they've achieved, regardless of my genetics and regardless of the fact that I will not use steroids.
Yeah.
I will build that physique.
Yeah.
Because I'm a firm believer of this quote or statement. I've forgotten how they put it, but there's a book called The Laws of Transurfing by Vadim Zeland. I've forgotten how he phrased that sentence. But your mind, your reality is a reflection of your most dominant thoughts.
Yeah.
And so obviously, if I can think of myself being this guy, I see myself in my head being this guy, my reality will bend into that idea that I've already believed. As long as I put in the effort and I put in the time, and I do that all I'm supposed to do, I just have that firm belief that this would eventually become my reality.
Yeah.
And then that's far better than just sitting back and doing nothing. I mean, even if it's not factual, even if you don't become exactly what you saw, if you do everything right, well, you don't even have to do everything right, but if you stay consistent long enough, you would achieve something close to that you envision.
Yeah.
So basically, that's why.
So enough with the excuses, guys. No steroids excuse, no genetics excuse. If you put in the work, nature always has a way of rewarding you. It might not be what you want, but you would get closer to your journey. So start putting in the work. You know, nowadays, before, the misconception or the current trend going on was that girls just go to gym for the looks. But nowadays, we see guys too doing the same thing. So what are the benefits of bodybuilding beyond the aesthetics? Because we all know that a six-pack, a big chest is good. It's quite good. But what are the benefits beyond aesthetics right now?
Like I said, you want to be strong.
Yeah.
In general. And then beyond the aesthetics.
Yeah. It could be a mind advantage.
Yeah, the mind is there.
Yeah.
The mind is there, but I'm trying to look for something more deep. There's a level of confidence that the whole thing builds.
Yeah.
When you know that you've been able to withstand whatever mental pressure the gym puts on your mind, and you've been able to achieve a certain level, like achieve a certain look.
Yeah.
You tend to become more confident. I remember in a couple years back, probably secondary school, I couldn't have conversations like this. I couldn't come in front of a crowd and talk to a crowd. To do it now is because I understand fully well that whoever it is that's in this crowd, not up to 5% of them can't do anything close to what I've done in the past.
Yeah.
So why should I care what they think? I always have to do that. I just block that out, zone that out, and do my thing. So it just builds that confidence. You tend to be more confident and mentally stronger, because life will throw at you challenges a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And then there's no such thing as too much strength.
Yeah.
So when your mind is already built up to a certain extent, you tend to handle those challenges better.
Yeah.
And you tend to be hungry for more information. So whenever you make mistakes, you can always just learn more, and whenever that kind of scenario presents itself again, you handle it far better.
Solid. So I want to ask you a question. Let me create an example. Someone who is skinny wants to start bodybuilding but feels overwhelmed because all these guys are big chested, six packs, and they are telling him that you can't. Because I've noticed one thing. There's a gym culture. When gym bros always support each other. That's one thing I've noticed, that gym bros love to help those who are just starting because they understand what it means. But then people who are too lazy to go through the journey, they have a way of discouraging every skinny guy they meet because they know they can't do it. So why not put down others? And so now I have someone now, skinny, overwhelmed, but wants to start this journey. What advice do you have for him? Not look at me, the audience.
Okay, the fact always will be, people talk you down not because of you actually cannot achieve that thing, but because of they are scared of the potential that you carry.
Yeah.
You tend to intimidate them.
Yeah.
When they see you, they see the potential and they see what you can actually do, and then they understand fully well that they do not have what it takes to be that thing also, or be something better than that. They go for the next best option, the next easiest option.
Yeah.
Talk you out of it, so that at least both of you can be comfortable and sit back and achieve nothing. Big part of whatever it is that you will achieve, they will do your own. And so, regardless of people's opinions, when you know what you want, nothing's stopping you. I mean, you have the internet in your hands, you have access to the internet. There's no information on this planet that you're looking for that you wouldn't find there. So, I mean, if you allow people to talk you out of whatever it is that you feel like you should achieve, then when you end up being a nobody like them, it's not their fault, it's yours.
Yeah.
Because nobody actually held you down and carried your words. They just said words that you allowed benefit from that.
Solid. So, what's next for you? Do you plan competing or?
I mean, time will tell.
Time will tell.
Yeah,
so,
if I'm able to beat calisthenics,
yeah,
then I'll go for the next best, the next more difficult thing.
This guy.
That's
so basically, you are always looking for the next difficult thing. What challenges me? What's the next thing that can challenge me, basically?
Yes, that's one way to put it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there's no such thing as too much competence.
Yeah.
And I mean, if it doesn't make people call you crazy, it's not big enough. So yeah, whatever it takes, let them call me crazy. That's how I know that yeah, I'm on the right track.
Yeah.
Get that kind of thing. Besides, my brothers will never stop pushing.
Yeah.
And I don't want to give those guys an opportunity to gap me. I mean, come on. They will not come and be talking to me again. So yeah, I might as well just keep pushing.
So community is very important. If you have a goal, ensure that you have a group of people that you know that they are with you. Through thick and thin, whatever it takes, they will be with you, because it's quite easy to wake up in the morning when you are motivated. But when your energy is down, you need people that will back you up. So make sure you have a community pushing you every day. So any final words for those who want to transform themselves, male, female, whatever it is? Just leave us with a good quote.
You know why I'm struggling to come up with that quote?
Why?
I have so many quotes in my head that I don't just know which one would be the best for this one. Okay, I'll leave you with this one. When you're facing difficulties, whenever you're trying to achieve, that's just life trying to make you into the person you serve of that. And so basically, yeah, it's going to be difficult and it's going to take a while. But at the end of the day, you would not only achieve that goal, but you become the person deserving of that.
Solid. So if you are serious about starting your fitness journey, drop amen in the comments. And maybe, just maybe, I can get Ikeh Chiedebere to personally train some of you. So make sure you turn on notifications. Follow me on all platforms, because I'm dropping real unfiltered content every week. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep taking action. I will see you soon. Make it count.